to look back at 2019. Hey everyone, welcome back to Oak Creek Homestead. It's Renee here with the first garden video of 2020. Now, we are so excited to move forward with this gardening season and really sit down and plan out the garden. But we wanted to take this video and share with you some of our successes, some of our failures, and use that experience to help guide where we go in 2020. So first, let me say, 2019 was a huge year for us. We had so many new things that we tried. We planted over 50 varieties of herbs, veggies, some fruits, some flowers that were new to us. And I think the number probably, if I went through and counted it, is closer to 75. So all sorts of things. We started things indoors like the end of February, and we moved stuff outside probably like end of Marchish, early April. And then started getting stuff planting like in April. Started planting even our tomatoes in our main garden bed early May, which is really early for us. And we were taking a risk doing that, but we thought we'd try it and just see what happened. And let me also say to you guys, I don't know all this by memory. I keep a journal, just a little composition notebook, nothing exciting. And I start with planning out the garden in here. So we make lists of things that we want to grow. We draw out our garden and where we're going to plant things. We also keep track of which seeds that we have, which seeds we need to purchase. We make different lists about where we purchase different seeds. So last year we ordered from 6 different seed companies. Plus we split some of our seeds with my parents who ordered from some different companies. So we probably had about 8 different seed companies represented. Overall, the garden did really well. We were really happy with everything we planted early in our spring garden. So all of our greens, our bok choy, some of our kohlrabi, herbs that we got out early, they did fantastic. We ate so much bok choy early in the year. It was really delicious. We had spinaches, we had lettuces, we had some arugula that did okay. We had, it's called corn salad. I've never grown it before, but it did okay. I think maybe I got it in the ground too late. We're gonna grow it again this year and see. Let's see, what else did we plant? We planted some beets early and some carrots early, and those did really well. Summer crops would include like your tomatoes, your peppers, your eggplants, your green beans, your squashes, Swiss chard we harvested in the summer. I think that's covers most of summer crops. So tomato wise, we planted a ton of tomatoes, 40 different plants. Our favorite varieties were yellow pear, the red zebra, and the pineapple tomatoes. They did amazing. Our Romas did terrible, which is really disappointing because we like to use those for sauces. So we didn't get a ton of sauce tomatoes. We planted a handful of other slicer tomatoes, and you know what? They were hit or miss. Some plants did great, and some did not do well at all. And even when I planted like 2 of the same plant, one did well and one didn't. So I'm not really sure. We are going to grow a lot of those again because the tomatoes we did get off of them were delicious, but we just not sure kind of what happened with those. Our peppers did not do well. That was our fault. We didn't plant them in a place that gave them great sun. We planted them too close to the tomatoes, and I think the tomatoes just got out of control and didn't and the peppers just didn't get enough sunlight. So we have a new plan for this year. We're going to move some things around, so that will definitely help our peppers. A couple other things that really struggled. Our eggplants did terrible. We did not harvest one eggplant from our garden all year. We had planted 15 different plants, 4 different varieties, nothing. They got overtaken by flea beetles so badly. We just could not keep up, and we saved the plants, but they were not strong enough to ever produce like reasonable sized fruit before they just rotted and fell off. So again, we're going to choose some things differently this year. We have some plans to help those plants develop a little bit better, stronger before they get taken over by mites or flea beetles. We'll see. We got a bunch of pumpkins off a volunteer pumpkin plant that did great. But other than that, our squashes, our watermelons, everything in that family got eaten by squash bugs. We really struggle with those here. We choose not to spray pesticides or chemical laden products on our plants. And so it's hard. I have not found a good like homeopathic type clean organic type pest control method to keep the squash bugs away. Other than that, as far as our non-edibles go, we planted those in some new garden beds, and we believe that the soil was just not great because they took a long time to start. Once they really got growing, they did amazing, but there was not enough time left in the season for them to fully develop, and so we just didn't get good quality birdhouse gourds. We got a handful of loofah gourds that were big enough, but again, we didn't have enough time for them to dry out on the vine. So then we tried to harvest them early. They didn't work. We ended up throwing them all away. So better luck next year. Every garden season is there to teach you some lessons, and some of them are rewards for experimenting and trying new seeds and trying new varieties. Some of those lessons are about failure and about saying being willing to admit that hey, this didn't work in our favor. We still think this variety or this plant or this vegetable or non-edible that we like to grow. We still think there's value for it in our garden and in our in what we want to do, part of our mission. And so we're going to grow it again, and we're going to try it again and see what happens. And if we're successful, then awesome. And if we're not, then we'll go back to the drawing board. But I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for tuning in today. And I hope that you click the subscribe button below so that you can stay in tune with all of our 2020 garden updates. And if you have any gardening questions for us, please feel free to leave them in the comments. If you have any varieties that you've had major success with or major failures with, please share them with us. We're always looking to try some different plants and some new varieties of things. And so share those with us, and maybe we'll try them in our garden this year. We'll just see. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.